Hey guys, welcome to Recraft Relic channel and I hope you are doing well. So today we are going to basically build a login sign up page using Firebase. So we are basically going to just create two forms for login and sign up, and then we are going to use Firebase for authentication. And after the user is authenticated, we will redirect them to a dashboard and we'll perform simple private and public routes. Like if you are logged in, then you will not be able to go to the login and sign up page, and if you are logged out, then you will not be able to access dashboard, right? So simple stuff. Let's get started. Before starting, I'll say, if you like what I do each and every week, please go ahead and subscribe to my channel and share it with people, if you find it useful. All right, so let's get started. I already have a simple CRA application, a sample application, and let's start by installing React Router, and just creating our simple login and sign up route. So I already have React Router installed, so I'm just going to import browser router and switch from it. So import browser router from React Router DOM, right? And I also need switch, and I also need route. Wait, now let's go ahead and convert this into a routing system. So browser router, inside that there will be switch. So we are using React Router because it's going to make it very easier for us to redirect user and put authentication. Without it, it will be a lot of custom logic to just hide pages like login or sign up and dashboard. So I'm just going to use router for that. So I'm going to create my first route, which will be login. So the path will be slash, and the component will be login. So we haven't created the login component yet. We don't have to worry about it right now. I'm just going to do it the next thing. So we have this component folder here, and I'm going to create login.js. So let's create a simple log component, import React from React, right? And const login equal to, I'm just going to return an h1 for now, which say login, and then I'm just going to say export default login. Right now let's go ahead and import it here, login, and let's reload. So you can see on slash login is on slash login is getting loaded. Now let's create sign up, new file, signup.js. I'm going to just copy paste everything from login to sign up and just rename it sign up, and here it will be sign up as well. And I'm going to reload. If I go to slash, it will going to load login, and if I go to sign up, it is again loading login. What's the reason? The reason is that even if we are on the sign up, the path still contains slash, and that's why the log is basically picking login first and not going to sign up at all. So in order to solve that, we have to do a exact here. So we are telling React Router that the login will only load when the exact path is slash, and if it's anything else, it doesn't have to load login. So now you can see we are able to see sign up, and if I go to slash, we'll be able to see login. Let's create dashboard as well. So these are like shell components right now. We'll obviously change them. So I'm just building them for better clarity. Once that is out of the way, we can start working on the juicy part. So dashboard, we'll import it, and here we'll just say dashboard, right, and reload it. If I go to slash dashboard, not this, localhost 3000 slash dashboard, then it will load the dashboard. Okay, great. So we have the routing in place. And now let's create some UI. We'll start with login. I'm using for CSS, I'm using Tailwind, and to make it easy for the demo, I'm just using a direct CDN link. I'll link this down in the description if you want to have a look. But you can always go to the GitHub, to the main repo, and you can always get these things. So now in the login, because I'm using Tailwind, I can do a lot of cool stuff. So let's do it. So we'll start by creating the main background div, which is this, and I'm going to put some, so I'm going to make it full width. So let's give it a class name, w full. So if you guys don't know about Tailwind, it's a super simple and super helpful CSS framework, and it lets you, it basically enables you to do a lot without even writing CSS. So they have a lot of helpful classes that which we can use here. All right, so for example, w full is going to make the width to full, and at screen is going to make the height of this div as the full screen, like this screen. It's like 100 VH in normal CSS. So we'll go to here. Now I'm just going to give it some gradient background. And if we have to do it in CSS, it's a lot of, you have to go and find the colors and all that stuff. Here it's with Tailwinds, it's simple. So we'll just go BG gradient to R is like to right, and we say from yellow 200. So 200, and these are basically the degree of the color. So the lower is the number, the lighter the color will be. So for example, 100 will be the lightest, and then the 500 and 600 will be the darkest color. So from yellow to 100, we are defining the second color. We are red 500 to pink 500, right? So let's see how that goes. You can see the gradient. So it's that easy with with Tailwind. So now let's so I'm just going to build the form in the middle with the white background like a card. So let's create the div for that. We'll do the div. I'm just going to give it the width of the class name, width of 96, which is like the highest width in Tailwind, and I'm just going to give it BG white. And for now, I'm just going to give it height as well. Yeah, so you can see the height and the width, right? I want to center it out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to convert this into div into flags. Then I'm just going to justify all the elements to center, and then I'm going to say align the enter to the center as well. Once I do this, it's here. Great, looking good. Now I am going to give it a bit shadow. So I can just say shadow LG, I guess. And it's going to give it some shadow, right? And great. So now let's create our user like the fields. So the fields that we are looking for are email and password, at least for the login. So let's do it. I'm going to create a div, and inside that div I will create a label which will hold our labels. So for example, for start it will be email, and then I'm going to create my input. So actually I have created a login sign up, UI with Tailwind in the last video. If you want to check it out, I will put the link in the description. But yeah, I mean, I already have done it something, so I'm just trying to get it done with. So I'll just build it quickly. So name, email, great, we have that. So now I'm going to give, you'll not be able to see the input because by default Tailwind don't give any CSS to the input. So now we are going to create the border. So border gray 200, 200, and border width to be 2. Once we do it, you will be able to see. The other thing that we want to do is make this label block. So once we do block, its display will set to block, which is which going to take the full width. Border 2, anything else we need? I'm just going to make it rounded. So once I do it rounded, you can see the rounded corners, and then like width to be full, and then padding, like then let's give because when I click on the inside the input, you will be see there is no padding, which is not looking good. So I'm just going to give it a bit of padding 2 from all, and then I'm just going to give it some height as well. All right, now I'm just going to go to this div and give it some padding. Firstly, margin, right? So not mg, just m margin, and you'll be able to see, oh, okay, so this looks good, great. This email, I'm just going to increase its width, not the width but the font size, so text excel, and I'm going to make it bold as well, and I'm going to give it some margin from bottom as well, so it will look something like this. Okay, so this looks good. Now I'm just going to copy this and create the password as well. Password, type password, right? Great. And instead of password, I'm just going to like email, I'm just going to say password, right? Now we don't need this hide because I'm just going to hide it according to the content. So I'm just going to remove it. It will look something like this. And now I want to create a button. All right, and it will look something like this. So button, and it will say login, class name equal to, so firstly I'm going to convert, so I'm going to let's save this. So now we have the login. So the background, I'm going to give it same background color as the gradient, maybe in like a different arrangement. Let's do that. I'm just going to copy paste this here, and you will be able to see the gradient. I'm going to make the text white, right? And I'm going to give it padding. So px, so px is basically padding from left and right. Px maybe 5, right, or maybe 10, and py, which is like top and bottom, so it's like x-axis and y-axis. So py to be 2. I'm going to make it rounded as well, and going to increase it font size as well, and make it bold as well. Font bold. Great. Okay, it looks good to me. Now maybe change its gradient from yellow, instead make it orange maybe. Not much of a difference. Yeah, not much of a difference. So I'm just experimenting with some color here. purple. None of these are looking good. Yeah. So I'm just going to say, I'm just going to reverse it. So here I'm just going to say 2 yellow 200, and I'm just going to make it from, right. Okay, great. So now we have the login button, and I'm also going to include a button which will redirect the user to sign up in case they don't have an account. So I'm just going to say link, not this link from React router, and I'm just going to say don't have an account, right? And I'm just going to make it path to slash and import it. Can I auto import it? Let's see. Yeah, great. Right, so now I'm going to reload this page, and if I go here, don't have an account, click on this, cannot read property. Yeah, so it shouldn't be path, it should be 2. Let's reload the page, click on this. I have to do sign up here. Great, reload, click on don't have an account, and it will redirect you to sign up. Great. So now let's also create the UI for the login, not the login but the sign up. So let's go here, do this, paste this. So the UI will be similar. Link is not defined. I'm just going to import link from React Router DOM. Right, sign up, and I'm just going to change this. Oh, this is fine. I'm going to change this to sign up, and this to don't have an account, already have an account, and redirect to slash, right? And the email password is great, but I also want to add a username. So I'm or a name, not a username. So I'm just going to do that. Email, right? So I'm just going to say name, and here I'm just going to say name as well. So now we have name, email, password, and sign up button. I already have an account. Click on this, it will redirect login. Click on this, and now let's create dashboard as well, so go to login, copy this dashboard, paste it. What am I doing? Just paste the HTML. Now I don't need this thing, but what I do need is a logout button here. So logout, and let's go to dashboard. I don't need any of these, so I'm just going to remove this, but instead I will be needing like a p element to show username. So for now, let's just put Manoj there, and we'll do something about it, but let's just do it this for now. All right, and great. Let's put this also inside a dev. Great. All right, so now let's go to our login page, like sign up page. So let's, start integrating Firebase because we already have like everything in place. Now let's just start integrating Firebase. So to integrate Firebase, if you don't know already, you need to create an app in Firebase, Firebase console. So I'm just going to bring this window here now. So you'll be able to see, this is my Firebase, project. You can go ahead and create one. I'll basically, put down a link where you can basically see how you can create a Firebase account. I already have like account and app. I already have created an app, and in order to integrate it, with like any npm project like Vue.js or React.js, we can use the Firebase package, and then this is the configuration that we have to do in our application. And we'll be ready to use Firebase. It's so nice of Google that they give you this copy paste configuration. You just need to copy and paste it in your application and you're good to go. So I already have installed Firebase. You can go ahead and install it, yarn add Firebase, and then you just need to copy this from your configuration. So how can you find this configuration? When you will be inside your project overview, once you have created it, you can see one app. This is the web app, and when you click on it, you'll be able to see the npm here. When you're creating the project, choose to create a web app if you're going to use the Firebase with the app, which is like the motive of this whole video. And create the web app, and they will let you know how to basically integrate it. So, and it's simple, just install Firebase, copy this and paste this into your app.js. I'm just going to do that here, and you have to import it from the Firebase app, initialize app, and you're pretty much good to go. You don't need to do this const app or whatever. If you don't want to do, you can just do this, and yeah, Firebase is integrated. Now let's go ahead and integrate it with our sign up. All right, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create 3 state variables for saving the form information. Use state. There are better way to handle form states. This is just the sake of for the demo. You can handle the form state in more better ways, like maybe use a reducer or something, but here this will work. So email, great, set email, right? And for name, we will do password, right? Set password, and inside all the use state we'll have, and at the start they all will be empty. Now let's add them. Let's convert our uncontrolled input to controlled input, and just provide the value name, and then on change I can just say e set name e dot target dot value, right? And then we have value and on change, and I'm just going to put it here, change this to email, change this to email as well, and do the same thing here. Password, set password, right? That sounds good. Use state is not defined. I'm just going to import it, and let's create and just go here, const create our sign up function. And for now I'm just going to console all of these values just to see if everything is working fine. Name, email, and password. Go here, inspect element, click on console, right? Manoj, Singh, Negi, just another Manoj, let's keep it that way. Manoj. Click on sign up. Nothing happens because I haven't added the listener. So on click equal to sign up, on sign up. So I think it is hot reloaded. Let's see, click on Manoj. All right. So we are able to see the information. So now let's integrate it into the Firebase. In order to integrate this to the Firebase, we have to use Firebase auth, and we need two main functions. The first thing is get auth, and the second thing is create. Let me just do this from Firebase auth. And why this doesn't work is because of this. It needs to be import, create user with email and password. So we need these two things. One very important thing we have to understand. Let me open my Firebase again. Right, is one thing. So before starting to use authentication, what you actually have to do is you have to go and enable these sign in methods, So I have enabled email and password. There are other as well, but you have, like, by default they are disabled. And if you try to use the auth and this get auth function and all that, it will not work because it'll say auth is disabled and all that stuff, right? So it's you have to go in this authentication tab and enable these, and just click on this, click on enable, and that's pretty much it. Once you be able to do, you will be able to see the user who have signed up using your API. So for now I'm just going to delete all of these. I created them while testing, so I'm just going to remove these. All right, so now on sign up, what we want to do is we want to extract auth, get auth, and then what I'm going to do is create user with email and password, sign up and password. I'm going to provide the auth. You can see here it asks for auth, which is this this configuration we get from get auth, then email and the password. So we have the email and the password, but the strange thing is that it will not ask for name because it doesn't take name. So in order to save name, we have to do something else, which I will show you in a second. So now we'll go, and so if it's successful, like if the user is created, what we are going to do is update profile, which is like updating the user profile. Once the user is created, we are going to say update user profile. We are going to provide the current user. So once the user is signed up, the auth.current user will be like updated for that user. So we are saying once the user is signed up, get the auth.current user, and then update the display name as our name, like whatever we have put it here, right? And if it got succeeded, then redirect user to login. All right, so we're going to just say history.push to slash. If we catch any error, we are just going to alert it out. Let's just keep it simple. So we're just going to say alert e.message. Okay, and we are going to do the same thing if user is not, we are not able to create the user as well, right? So that's good. We need history. Yes, we need history. And one other thing we need is loading, right? Because once the user will click, we'll make this API hit, and then we need the loading, right? So loading, set loading equal to use state, and we are going to make it false by default. And in when it's loading, we are just going to say, if it's loading, then just say creating user dot dot dot, or else say sign up, right? Great. All right, so now let's, and we also have to enable loading as well, right? So here I'm just going to say set loading to true, and finally I'm going to say, so finally is like either there is an error or either there is a success. Finally, when the promise is and like returned, just do this, whatever I'm just going to put here, which is set loading to false. And okay, so let's start doing that. So let's say Manoj Singh Negi, just another Manoj at gmail.com. Let's keep it like this. Password is Manoj. I'm just going to do, let's click on sign up, creating user, and it's redirected to the login. Is the user is created or not? Let's see. I'm going to reload this. Firebase console. And you can see the user, right? Just gmail.com, created night now, or user ID, whatever, right? So now let's, so sign up out of the way. Now let's try to create login. All right. So we're going to do this, the same thing, at least these three things the same. Let me explain you a bit what actually happened here. So basically when we click on sign up, we set the loading to true to like show the loading. We get the auth. We call the create user with email and password method of Firebase, and provided the auth and email and password. It created the user. Once the user is created, it updated the auth.current user, and using that we updated the display name of the user with whatever the name we have provided in the form. Once that is succeeded, we just redirect a user to the login page, basically, right? History.push, and yeah, if there is an error, it will alert it out. Handling errors is like a different topic which I'm not going to cover, so you can just for now I'm just alerting them, but yeah, there are much more better ways to handle them. So now I'm just going to go here and do this, and I'm just going to copy paste a lot of things. So here is email. I'm just going to go paste the same thing here. And instead of set email, this will be set password, and this will be password as well, right? And use state should be right. And if things are loading, then say logging you in dot 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 dot, and I'll say login. Let's reload this. And yeah, now let's create a login function. So const on login equal to a function, right? And for logging in, what we need is we need same, we need same get auth. Get auth, and we need get auth, and the other thing that we need is sign. Let's import. I don't know why I just keep doing like messing import up, but so Firebase slash auth, and I need sign in with email and password, right? So now we'll just go here, const auth equal to get auth, right? And then I'm just going to say sign in with email and password. I'm going to pass auth, the email, the password. Great. Now dot then, and a catch. Catch is simple, just get the error and alert it out. Dot message, and if there is success, so couple of things we want to do. Firstly, we want to save the token in the local storage. The reason we want to save it, because once the user is authenticated, we know some way to basically some way to find that if user is logged in, and if they are logged in, don't let them access login or sign up pages. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to save the token into local storage. So local storage dot set item, and what this method will return will be user credentials, and this user credential, and then I'm just going to save it as token user credential dot token response dot id token, basically. All right, so I'm just going to save it, and just I'm going to say history dot push and push it to dashboard, and that's pretty much it. I'm going to extract history. The reason I have history because they are all routes, so I'm able to see the history. Set loading will be called here, making it true, and then in the finally, making it false. Great. It looks good to me. Yeah, let's see. Let's also define the listener. On click on login, right? Token is not defined, it says, yeah. So now let's go to our application, and you can see in the local storage we don't have anything. Now this is the user that I basically signed up with. Now let's try to log in using this. So login, and it redirect you to this page, and you can see the token, right? So now we are able to also log in the user and basically redirect them to a dashboard. But there is a couple of problems. The first thing is this is a dummy name, so we need the name which we provide to the user. The other thing is, if I go to login page, it will let me go to the login page, which is not ideal because we are not the login, but like slash. It will not let it will not redirect me to dashboard. I'm already logged in, but it will not redirecting me to the dashboard. So in order to do that, what I'm going to do is simple. I'm going to say use effect. So on all the mounting, whenever there is a mounting, I'm just going to say only for the first time, I'm going to extract the token local storage dot get item, which is token. So by default this will be null, right? So what I'm going to say is if token, so if token is present, then history dot push the user to slash dashboard, and that's pretty much it, you know. So if there is token, if I reload this page now, it will redirect me to the dashboard. So if I go here, remove this, try to go 3 times, it will always redirect me to the dashboard. But there is another problem, which is if I go to the sign up page, it will still let me see the sign up page, and I'm just going to copy this and paste the same thing here. So one thing to note is, because we don't have to copy paste it, we can create it as a custom hook and then use it here. But yeah, I mean, I'm just doing it for the sake of the video. So sign up, and yeah, so it will always redirect until and unless the token is removed, which we'll do on the logout. So now we'll go to the dashboard page. So our login and sign up is working now. So we'll go to the dashboard page, and we are going to say yeah, const logout history dot push slash, right, and that's it for the logout, right? You just have to push the user to the history, like to the login page, but after removing the token. So local storage dot remove item token, and once removed you can push it to the slash and it will work as fine, right? So slash, we'll just say on click logout, and let's reload this. Now once I click logout, you can see the token getting removed, and now I'm in the login, and even if I reload the page, it still will stay in the login because I'm logged out. But there is one other problem, and that is that is the opposite of what we are facing with dashboard. So if I go to the dashboard now, it will let me see the dashboard, which is not correct, right? Because I'm not logged in, it should not let me see the dashboard. So for that, what we are going to do is we're going to copy this and reverse the condition. So copy this dashboard, go here, paste it, and just say not, and login. So now we are saying if we are loading the dashboard and there is no the token is null, then redirect it to the login because the user is logged out. So I'm just going to import use effect, auto import it, and reload. Now you can see I'm not able to go to the dashboard. So slash dashboard, yeah, it's not it's loading for the first time, but yeah, then it's not letting me see anything. Still we have one problem, that this thing, it's not it's not dynamic. So what we are going to do for that is so there are a couple of things, we can actually access user by doing something like this. So what we have to do is we just have to say const auth equal to get auth, Firebase auth, right? And just say const user equal to current, not current, but like auth dot current user. So this will give me like the current user, and then I'm just going to I can just say if user, because sometimes it's null, user dot display name, I just want to show the display name. Okay, So let's go here, reload the page, and let's try to log in. And you can see now. So dynamically we are able to load the name, right? So now let's create another user. And we're just going to say like Robin Hood at Gmail. Let's not do a Gmail, but Yokmail, and password to be Robin Hood. Click on sign up, right? And just say Robin Hood at yopmail.com, and just say Robin, login. So it's a wrong password. I don't know what was the password. Okay, I forgot what I put there. All right, let me create a new account. Robin at mail. I'm just going to keep a simple password right now. Click it. Robin your mail and its password. Click on login, and you can see Robin out. But there is still one problem, which is something like this. If I reload this page, then you'll not be able to see the name. The reason being, whenever you reload, the instance of the Firebase also get reloaded, and then it doesn't have the the current user. So in order to do that, what we have to do is we have to fetch that user which is signed up, like which is logged in right now. It's still logged in the browser. So what we can do in order to do that, we have to create basically a login state listener, with what Firebase call it. So what we are going to do simply is, what we have to do, we have to on use effect called on auth state changed. You have to provide the auth, so we have to like get the auth as well. So const auth equal to get auth, right? Auth, and then you have to provide the callback, right? Which is going to do whatever you want to do with the user. But for now, let's just say it. Let's set the user. We don't need anything else. Just set it. We're not going to use it. It just we have to provide a callback. So I'm just going to do this. So const user set user equal to use state null. Alright. So get auth is not defined. So basically what happens right now is whenever we load the page for the first time, it's going to basically add this listener, and it's basically going to make that API hit to get the current logged in user. And now you can see the Robinhood here. Even if I reload the page, it's going to take some time to load the user, but then you'll be able to access it from anywhere using this auth current user. I think the ideal way to do is like maybe set up a reducer and update the reducer according to this. But yeah, for now I'm just going to use the auth.current user. And now because it works like this, on logout, redirecting is not the answer, because the user is still logged in the browser, in the cookie what Firebase already have like saved, or internally Firebase, the Robinhood is still logged in, even if I just remove the token and like just push it. So in order to completely fix this, Firebase provide a sign out method. So you can just say sign out, right? And it takes the auth, that dot then, and inside the dot then I'm going to do whatever we were doing, like removing the token and history dot push. And inside the catch, I'm just going to say alert e dot message. All right, and e here. And I'm just going to reload the page. So you can see the Robinhood. If I click on logout, then yeah, let me design a experiment for you guys. So if I go to login.js, I can, or in the app.js, maybe in the login. Let's do in the login.js. So now whenever the login.js is loading, I can just get the auth, right, and just get its current user and console them. So if I reload it now, it will show null. Now if I log in, right, it will show this user, right? And if I log out again, then it will show null again, because you know the user is basically logged out. Right. So basically what we have built, we have built a login form, and Firebase basically allows you to let the user log in using this method called sign in with email and password. There is a sign up. For sign up, you can do create user with email and password, and if you want to update any other information, you can use update profile method to update the name and other stuff as well, like profile picture as well, right? And then we also have built this dashboard thing, where we basically use the current user to show the display name, also use the logout button to destroy the current session using the sign out method provided by Firebase. And yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. And for the errors, we are doing alert, but yeah, you can maybe show some better error messages like toast and something. But yeah, for today's video, this is pretty much it. I really hope that you like this video. Please let me know what kind of videos do you want me to do. I am I'm going to do the live stream not on Saturdays now, on Sundays from now on. But yeah, right, if you really like this video, please share it with other people as well, who will find it useful. And until Sunday, have fun.